Hello everyone, this is Mustafa Sabri. I work at ARP as a senior Java security developer and I have done my master's in information assurance, which similarly sounds as securing your information and especially the blockchain technology, which also refers to the same thing. So I'll be describing the main thing about the blockchain technology and its usage in the current world. And it's a very boom that can be seen all around the world where people are very much interested in accepting the blockchain. The blockchain actually has many meanings according to many people and many other understanding of the intellectuals. The Trust magazine has decided that it can be understood in three common meanings, where it can be understood as the commonly known currency as Bitcoin, the specific blockchain that underpins it, and the idea of blockchain in general. So the blockchain systems, the way they have the power and decentralized from any third parties, and only the governments may be able to control it rather than any third party banks. Blockchain actually has many meanings accordingly. Phone, in example, phone can be actually explained the idea of phone network, a specific phone network, or the specific usage of the phone network, like AT&T and fax. Blockchain also can be explained in the similar way. The blockchain itself is the idea of the blockchain and the specific blockchain that underlines the usage of Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. And the third meaning is to understand blockchain, you can just directly use any Bitcoins or any cryptocurrencies that actually uses as the backend for it. What is blockchain? The technology that permits transactions to be gathered into blocks and recorded, cryptographically changed blocks in chronological orders, and allows the resulting ledger to be accessed by different servers. In this technology, you don't actually save at any third party servers or anything else. It's directly recorded at your sender ledger, which is a device or account where where anybody doesn't have any access rather than the owner itself, and it's actually sent very quickly and recorded in chronological orders and gathered in terms of blocks, and it's completely decentralized. Before blockchain, the early applications of the blockchain that can be explained as the banking services who are not eligible for bank accounts in their country, and music sales, smarter web advertisements protecting user anonymity like Brave and BAT softwares. The United Nations World Food Programme uses blockchain to eliminate costs related to food supply for Syrian refugees and Yemen refugees or Palestine refugees and kinds of stuff. And applications of private blockchains to replace databases actually. How blockchain actually works: when a user sends it to the B user, the transaction is actually represented as block, and this block is broadcasted to any network or every network in that completely decentralized area of the Bitcoin or the cryptocurrency, and then the sufficient miners approve the transaction to make it eligible and make it via transactionable, and then the transaction is added to the Bitcoin or the Ethereum, which is also known as the blockchain technology, and finally the B sender receives the money. Where might blockchain use cryptographically? This is actually very different in understanding. It's actually initiation of and broadcasting of transaction, which is currently by digital signatures and private or public keys, and the digital signatures can be saved with AES GCM algorithm and PBKDF to HMAC with SHA-256 algorithm, and most of the people are also using SHA-352 algorithm as well in the form of hexagonal algorithms, and the validation of these transactions can be done by proof of work and certain alternatives which can be present at particular softwares, and which helps you to depict your cryptographic information about how much money or how much crypto coins you hold. And these chaining blocks are actually the hash function that again, which is saved cryptographically by using some hashing functions, as said AES-GCM algorithm or SHA-3 to 56 hexagonal hashing algorithm, and PBKDF2 with HMAC and with SHA-256 algorithm as well. And the main questions about Bitcoin and its main features. What are the questions most commonly asked is how should data be stored, how should new data be distributed, resolving conflicts, adding or changing rules, who can submit transactions, who can validate transactions, who can add blocks, preventing bad behaviors, incentivize block makers. So this thing is divided in two different ways, the Bitcoin and other ways, which is normally third party banks or some historical way of collecting money. So how they can be stored is blockchain. Bitcoin is currently and stored in a blockchain technology. It's rather different from distributed database. How is it distributed? It is peer-to-peer connection rather than a client to server hierarchical architecture where there are more chances of getting hacked. Resolving conflicts, the longest chain rule is of Bitcoin for now, and they have because of that they take some time to get transferred, but they are very secure. And the other ways for other commonly third party banks, they have some consensus protocols. Adding or changing rules, BIP for writing rules, vote for hashing power and kinds of stuff. The other ways for banks can be centralized updates and contextual obligations, whereas Bitcoin is completely decentralized. Who can submit transactions? Completely anonymous. Who can validate transactions? Anonymous. Who can add blocks? Anonymous. And everything is securely validated. Preventing bad behaviors, which is proof of work. In other ways, in other currently different banks, it can be stated as proof of stake or trusted works. Incentivize block makers, which is currently coins, and the other banks are third party, which actually holds the value of those owners. That's it. Thank you for your support, and if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. There are many things which can be understood and which needs to be understood in general. As I said, there are many questions which people should be needed to be educated and advertised as well, and we need to also be very much aware about all these stuffs as well. So it's going to take some time when people are going to actually take this as in accordance and kinds of stuff.